Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden Tips video breakdown, we're going to take a look at a play called Gun Tight Offset Tight End Saints Drive Out. This happens to be one of my favorite plays to attack bump and run man coverage, or for you guys who are not familiar with the word bump and run, for us old schoolers, that's the word we like to call it, but for you guys who are newer to the game, it's probably going to be called press man coverage. So at any rate, it beats that type of coverage. So let's keep that in mind. So what I want to tell you is this particular play you will not find in any other playbook. You'll find it only out of the Saints playbook. So I just want you guys to know that. So if you're following along, if you use another team and you've got some receivers that you really like and you like to put them in different spots, I suggest subbing them. Obviously, if you got really fast receivers, you may want to put them in certain spots that's going to help you out as far as attacking press coverage. So what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and get on the field. Before I do that, let's just go ahead and take a look at the play as it is in the actual playbook itself. And as you look at it, as I mentioned, you'll find this only in the Saints playbook. The name of the play, again, is called Gun Tight Offset Tight End Saints Drive Out. I really feel like this is a really good play as far as attacking press man coverage. On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to use the dime normal cover two man, although I will show a couple other man defenses as well as we go through the breakdown. So if you guys are following along, that's out of the Panthers playbook. So let's go ahead and actually get on the field, take a look at this, and just kind of go through some of the routes by default as you look at it. So we're going to go ahead and start off with this receiver here, over here towards the left. As you look at it, this is going to be Traquan Smith. Now, like I said, you can make adjustments yourself, and whoever you want to be in these positions, you surely can do that if it's your choice. For now, I'm just going with the default rosters, not doing a whole lot as far as making any subs. Now, with this particular route, what he does is he more or less runs an out route, kind of goes at an angle, and then he breaks over here towards the outside right there. To the inside of him, we're going to get a little bit more involved in talking about Thomas, but for now, just know that Thomas lines up right here. And what he runs is a more or less a corner route, goes up the field, breaks towards the corner. And then as you work your way over to the right side, I don't really have a graphic for Cook, but he is the play's primary receiver, and he is a tight end. And what he runs is an in route. So what he goes up here is he kind of goes at an angle towards the outside, takes an outside release, goes up the field. And then what he does, he rounds his route off before breaking towards the inside on that in route. His route's pretty nice as far as attacking man coverage as well, as we'll talk about later in the breakdown as we get going. And then finally, to the outside of him, we're going to have Emmanuel Sanders. He runs a shallow crossing route, which is nice as well. Gives you another option to throw to as he comes across. In the backfield, we've got probably one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best receiving halfbacks in the game, and that's going to be Kamara, however you want to pronounce it. And what he runs here is a flat route out here towards the right, and he will be another option we can throw to. So you've got lots of guys to throw to, but there's one thing you have to do to get these guys open where they don't get jammed at the line of scrimmage. We're going to talk about that in just a bit, but for now, let's go ahead and go into press coverage on the defensive side of the ball, as you see. So right now they're in press coverage. I want you guys to watch this. I can tell you right now, everybody's going to be jammed. At least 3 of the receivers are going to get jammed. And I want to go ahead and run the play, and I'll show you why, and then we'll kind of go how you can get them where they're not jammed. So let's just go ahead and run the play. I'm not really looking to throw to anybody specifically at this particular moment. I just want to get the ball off here because I really want you guys to watch and kind of go through this and then show you as we go through the video how to get these guys all off the line of scrimmage without being jammed. So let's go into instant replay just briefly and take a look at this. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to find 3 of these receivers are going to get jammed at the line of scrimmage. As you can see on your screen, if we're going to look at them right now, I'll go ahead and show you the 3 of them. You guys probably already saw those 3 receivers that are getting jammed, but you're going to get this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. So those are your 3 receivers that are being jammed. The only 2 receivers that are going to get off the line of scrimmage as you look at it is going to be Thomas and, of course, Kamara. Those are the 2 that are going to get off if you run the play as is and don't do anything at all. So you're going to have 3 receivers being jammed, 2 receivers getting off the line of scrimmage. All right, and that's not what we came for this video. I want to show you how you can get everybody off the line of scrimmage without being jammed. So let's go back into press coverage on the defensive side of the ball. The key to this is to go ahead and take control of Smith. So let's go ahead and find Smith again. Again, he's lined up right here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to motion him As you look at your screen, you're going to want to motion him to your right. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right now as you watch this. So we're going to put him in motion. Now, as you look at this, what we end up getting is more or less well, it is. It's pretty obvious what we get here. You're going to have 3 receivers lined up right here on the screen. You can see that's now a bunch formation. So you went from a gun tight formation to a gun bunch formation. And as you know, bunch formations are very good at attacking man coverage because you get a lot of rubs, all kinds of crazy things going on, and that's what we're going to see here. And we're going to get some receivers open here. So what I want to do at this point is I want to go ahead and run the play as you look at it. And I'm not going to make any hot route adjustments. We'll get that here in just a bit. So right now, as you look at it, we've literally got all 3 of these receivers, the ones I just told you earlier in the bunch formation. They're all 3 of these guys are running various routes over the middle of the field. So you have 3 guys running basically the same type of routes, but all, in the short to middle of the field. And that's something we're not going to want to have happen, but we'll go ahead and run the play as is. But I want you guys to go ahead and watch. And then we'll just go ahead and throw it to the outside receiver there. But you got a lot of options to throw to there. I mean, that's when you go into the bunch formation and you go into a bunch and you have all these receivers running in there, you're going to get everybody off the line of scrimmage. And that's what the video is about, is trying to get all these guys off the line of scrimmage without being jammed. So as you look at it, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here and really kind of go through this, because I really think this is something I really want to get into with this. Let's go into zoom over here and just take a look at this real quick. We'll zoom out just a smidget. All right, so as you watch here, you can see all 3 of those receivers are getting off the line of scrimmage without being jammed. All 3 of them on the line of scrimmage right there. So all 3 of those guys just got off the line of scrimmage. Not one of those guys were being jammed at the line of scrimmage. So we have lots of options that we can throw to based on this. So all 3 of those guys are getting off. Plus, you got your 4th one, which is going to be your running back. So all 4 of those guys just got off the line of scrimmage. Now let's go back in here and look at this again. Now it's just a matter of who we want to throw to. In a lot of cases, the one I would look to throw to, as you saw on the screen here, would have been this receiver here. A lot of times that's the one I want to throw to because I know he's going to be open. But I also have this option, and then you can see that the running back's open as well. So all 3 of those guys are all solid options to throw to if you don't make any hot route adjustments. If you don't want to make hot route adjustments, you can go ahead and run the play, and you can get some receivers wide open. But let's keep going on here. Now, I just mentioned you have all 3 of those receivers running routes into the same area of the field. So when you put this guy in motion over here, and you're getting all those receivers bunched up and all in that same area running their routes, well, that can get a little bit confusing. So one of the things I like to do is to clear out some receivers out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and run this play, and I'm going to go ahead and clear out 2 of my receivers. I'm going to go ahead and clear out the 2 inside receivers by just hot routing them on streaks. So you can see right there on your screen that now I have Smith running a streak, and then I also got Cook running the streak. And then what that's going to do is it's going to free up Sanders as he runs his route. He's going to come across on that shallow crossing route, and he's going to get open, and there won't be a lot of congestion in there. So I'm going to have him wide open. I'm going to show you something else here in just a bit. So you can see right there I picked up about, 10 yards right there. Now I want to go back because I want to show you why he got so wide open. Let's go back here and put him in press coverage. I want you guys to focus in on this defender right here. This is going to be the outside corner here on the right. Watch what he does when I put Smith in motion. He slides out. Now keep in mind, base of line is not turned on right now. I do not have base of line on. I will talk about base of line in just a bit as we go towards the end of the video here. But at any rate, because of that, when he slides out, as you look at your screen there, when he slides out, even though he's in man coverage right here. Now keep in mind, he's in man coverage on that receiver right there. But he's lined up to the outside of him as you're looking at it. He's lined up to the outside. So now because he's lined up to the outside and Sanders is running this route here, he's got to come all the way over here to go ahead and cover him. But that's not going to happen as you look at it. He's too far to the outside to jam him at the line of scrimmage. Plus, it leaves Sanders wide open. So as we run through the play, let's go back in here and instant replay. You can see that it's just a lot of, and plus on top of that, I've got those other 2 receivers running streaks. He's got to fight through those guys. There's just a lot going on there for him to get in there. And as you look at it, as I'm dropping back my quarterback, I can see he's totally wide open where I can make that throw and complete it for a nice gain as far as what you're seeing on your screen there. And then as you're probably noticing too, look at this guy wide open. There's a running back, Camaro, wide open. He's got this linebacker trying to trail him to cover him. So I've got those two options wide open just by doing that motion that I just did. So what I want to do is I want to continue on with this and keep going through the breakdown and kind of just walking through some more stuff. All right, so I've already mentioned as far as getting Sanders wide open. Let's try to get Smith wide open. So we're going to go ahead and hot route Cook, and this time we're going to go ahead and hot route Sanders on streaks. Now, a lot of times with this, when you do this, as far as the hot routes go, then this guy right here, which is going to be this linebacker, he should end up covering Smith in most cases. And when that happens, obviously he can't jam Smith at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to cause some confusion with the defenders. And plus, generally you're going to get a faster receiver matched up with a slower linebacker. In this case, that's what we're trying to achieve here with this. So let's continue on with this as far as with the play. And then we're just going to go ahead and look to throw to Smith right there, who gets wide open as he comes across the field. So that's our second option I just showed you as far as with this play. Now keep in mind, we also had the running back wide open as well. We're always going to have him in our back pocket in a lot of cases. All right, so let's keep going on with this and do another thing here. We're going to go ahead, this time, we're going to get Cook wide open. So that's the tight end. That's really the play's primary receiver. So we'll hot route Smith, and then we're going to also go ahead and hot route Sanders. Now, keep in mind, you guys can hot route these on other routes. I just prefer the streaks because it's going to clear out everything, and it's going to make things a little bit less congested. But that's the reason I'm only doing that, but it's up to you. Let's go ahead and look for Cook this time. As Cook comes across, a lot of times you'll find him open. Like I said, he's really honestly my fourth or fifth option I look to throw to. And I'm going to show you, depending on what I'm doing as far as the hot routes and goes, but usually when I do it like this, he's not the when I run this play, he's not the receiver I'm always looking to throw to. I just want to point that he's out. All right, so let's continue on. So you just saw that basically got all three of those receivers open. When I put Smith in motion to the right, I just showed you can get all three of those receivers open, plus the running back. Now, the one I haven't talked about all that much, really outside the beginning of the video, was Michael Thomas. Now, Thomas obviously has got some X factor. He's got some superstar ratings. One of the things I really, really wanted to talk about was this particular rating that he has, or superstar attribute that he gets, which is the wide receiver apprentice. And this adds 4 additional pass routes or hot routes to his arsenal. And that, to me, is kind of a game changer on the offensive side of the ball, because if you can get 4 extra hot routes, that makes him that much more effective. So let's go back into the field and get back on the field here and talk about him. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the breakdown, I talked about what he runs initially, and what he runs is that corner route. So he goes up the field and breaks toward the corner. One of the things I like to do with him, with this particular play, if I'm looking to throw to him, what I like to do is go ahead and use that additional hot routes that he has. So as you're looking at your screen here, there's those additional 4 hot routes that you have with this. And the one that I like with this particular play is the cross route. So I'm going to go ahead and run the cross route, and I'm going to show you what you can do with that as far as attacking this particular coverage. Now, the cool thing about this one is you don't really have to make a lot of hot route adjustments if you don't want to. I'm going to go ahead and not make anything. I just want you guys to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and run the play. And then you can see he gets wide open. Let's go back into it again. I'm not sure if I'll call press coverage or not, but let's go ahead and call press coverage just to make sure that we did that. And again, we're going to go ahead and put Smith in motion. And while we're sending him over, we're going to go ahead and put Thomas on that crossing route. So let's go ahead and run it again. Same thing. So that's another option you can look to throw to. Hopefully Breeze puts it on the money rather than what just happened there and got picked off. But usually, as I said before, he's going to be wide open where you can make that throw. Let's go and do the same thing again. Same setup there. And I forgot to put bump and run. But just know that if you don't put bump and run, it doesn't matter. He's going to get wide open anyways. He's going to get open as he comes across. This is a total bump and run man beater that the that the defense cannot defend as far as with this. If you wanted to, I suppose if you want to, you could go ahead and put, like, say, put Sanders. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and put him on a streak if you want. That's up to you. And what that would do, if you're going to put him on a streak, let's go ahead and put Thomas on that crossing route again. You could do something like that if you wanted to, or maybe you want to send Cook on a streak. You know, any one of those receivers you could send on a streak. And what that would do is mainly what you're trying to achieve if you're going to do that, that's really up to you, is this safety right here playing too deep. This would force him to drop further back. That's the reason that you'd put Sanders. Sanders is going to get off the line of scrimmage regardless here. And then you're going to have that. So that's what you could do with that. So that's pretty effective. So right now, basically, as I've gone through this whole breakdown, I've literally shown you when you simply put Smith in motion here, every single one of these receivers is an option against bump and run man coverage or man coverage. It doesn't matter. All four of those receivers on the line of scrimmage or near the line of scrimmage are all options to throw to. Plus, the only player I really haven't mentioned all that much was Kamara. I didn't really mention him all that much. So I'm going to go ahead and run this one more time, and we'll just go ahead and look to throw to him and then see if he gets open over there in that flat. So he would be your other receiver. Threw it a little bit late, but he'll be the other receiver you can look to throw to. So you got 5 receivers that are going to get off the line of scrimmage without being jammed when you run the gun tight, offset tight end, Saints drive out. Now, one of the things I talked about at the beginning of the video, and I mentioned I was going to talk about a little bit later, was what if they go into base align? So what if they go into base align? Well, they've already screwed themselves when they do that. I mean, if you look at it, those guys are lined way, way outside. You can see the 2 corners lined up way out here. They have absolutely no chance to defend any of this. So what I can do is, I mean, I could probably just run the play as is without the motion, but let's go ahead and use the motion. Just take a look at it and see what happens here. Just show you the options. I mean, it's not something they'd want to do. They would not want to run base formation. You can just figure out yourself that against the tight formation, run base is not something you probably want to do. That's just my opinion, at least when you come out in man coverage. I don't know why you'd run a base line against a man defense when you're in a tight formation. I think you'd be crazy to do that. But that's my opinion. So if you guys are doing that, that's your thing. All right, so at any rate, know that if they run base line, you should have some receivers open, and they're going to be open all over the field. All right, so that's with that. Now, what I want to do is, last thing I want to get into, I've just shown you this. I mentioned earlier also I wanted to run against a couple other formations, so I want to do that for you guys just so you guys can see that this is pretty effective as far as attacking some of the other man coverages you might come across. So let's go into the dollar one. Let's just run this cover 2 man LB Blitz. So this is a different formation, same type of coverage. I want you guys to go ahead and concentrate again on this guy right here, which is that corner. I'm going to go ahead and send him in motion. You see him go out to the outside. Up to you who you want to throw to. So I'm going to go ahead and make those 2 guys on streaks. Again, I'm going to look to throw to Smith. So I got Smith open again for a nice 10-yard gain. So my point is that you can pretty much run this against pretty much any man coverage in the game. Let's go into another one and take a look at another dollar. Let's go back into another dollar defense, see if we can find a cover 1 or something like that. Let's see what we got here. There's a cover 1 right there. Edge blitz, it looks like we'll run that. And I just want to show you all the different things that go with this particular play and why I like it so much. I feel like it's pretty effective as far as attacking man coverage. All right, same thing. Again, we got a guy going to the outside. We've got all these options we can throw to. Let's go ahead this time and look to throw to, we'll do Sanders this time. So a lot of options to throw to. So basically every single one of those receivers, when you run this particular play, the gun tight, offset tight in, Saints drive out, you've got options to throw to all over the place by simply sending the outside receiver. When I say the outside receiver, this receiver on the left side in the tight formation, when you come out in this formation, and by simply sending him over to the right, you create the bunch look, and then you've got all kinds of receivers to throw to. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I know it's another long one, going on darn near 20 minutes, and you guys know I'm a winded type person, like to talk. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video breakdown here at MaddenGuides.com. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.